Hello there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Cassie. Today I have a coloring book. I know, very different than what I would typically do as a color or a card maker, but I did want to show you this simply because I just thought it was really cool. So Arteza sent this to me and I thought, well, okay, maybe we could turn these into cards, which you could, so keep that in mind. I don't typically do a lot of coloring because I'll be honest with you, the giant books kind of overwhelm me. Even though I love coloring, the giant books just kind of overwhelm me, so I typically stay away from those. What drew me to this is that it is 6.4 inches by 6.4 inches. And I thought, okay, that is manageable. So I thought, all right, let's give that a try. Now it is 100-pound paper, and that was another thing that I thought was really cool because I thought, okay, 100-pound paper. What threw me off is the type of paper that it is. I don't know exactly what type of paper it is, but when you think 100-pound, I am thinking it is going to be a lot more, sturdy's not the word, maybe stiffer is the word I'm thinking, because I'm used to cardstock that card makers use. But I was very pleasantly surprised. Now this book is neat because it has, this one's called the Unique Doodle Illustrations, and Arteza has, I think, 3 different types of books, and I'll have those linked down below. If you like coloring in books like this, you might be very interested in the other 2 that they have, but this one really drew my attention because it's unique doodles. Some of them are a little bit bigger images, some of them are smaller. And so you can kind of pick and choose, but there are 72 sheets in here, which is incredible. And that's going to give you a lot to do and a lot of coloring. And they're all this type of like a gray. The illustrations are done in like a gray, which is neat because then you don't have that stark black line comparatively. And so I thought, all right, the first thing I tried on it was colored pencils. And I used the Expert Color pencils, the set of 120, and I loved it. This was so much fun to just sit and color. And I'm a slow colorer, so this one took me, I want to say, a couple evenings. And when I say evenings, I might be watching TV or hanging out with my family for a couple hours at a time. And so it took me a few hours to actually color this entire piece. Just trying to do some no-line coloring, which I'm not great at, and I don't practice it a lot. But that's where the gray lines come in super handy. If you want to practice your no-line coloring, this is a great way to start. So I tried it with, like I said, the colored pencils, and they work excellently. What I found awesome about them is that, you know, with your colored pencils, or any medium for that matter, that might be like a pen type or a pencil type, you're going to find areas where you're going to push a little harder. And the fear might be that you would leave an impression on the paper right underneath. You don't do that with this. That is, I thought, really incredible. And I was really pushing in some of these areas. So where you see that darker and the outlines, I was pushing pretty hard. But on that next sheet, there is no impression. So this 100-pound paper is really good for that. Now, what I could do with this is I could very easily cut this down to be the front of a card front, or even like a square card if you wanted, a 5.5 by 5.5 inch. You could easily do that, or pick parts of it that you might want to color and trim it down. So it could be used in card making. Now, I also tried some of Arteza's other mediums that I happen to have on hand, and I will show you those. This first one here that I did, this uses the Arteza 36 pan watercolors, and it can absolutely be used on here. Now you wouldn't want to rework the paper a lot, but I thought for sure that watercolor just was not going to work on this because of, you know, it's not watercolor paper per se, but it worked beautifully. So that's an option too. And it's another great way to work on your no-line watercolor, which I'm not real great at, but by this dog, so this was my last dog, I was starting to get the hang of it, and I was having a good time. Over here, I tried the Arteza Real Brush pens, so those are the alcohol markers. Or no, sorry. The Real Brush pens are the, like watercolor pens, and I didn't have as much luck with those. The blending out wasn't very easy, but you could absolutely do it because it doesn't leak through, which is nice. And then I tried the Everblend markers. And I know that these two colors are a little bit different on the spectrum, but I will tell you they didn't blend well. So I don't recommend that. And I'll show you on the back, it did bleed through with the Everblends. And not only that, it bled onto the next page a little bit. So I don't recommend your Arteza Everblend markers in here. But you could do the real brush pens. You may not get the best result. You absolutely could use the pan watercolors and absolutely use your colored pencils. Now I did go a step further, and I also colored using the Inkonic pens. And now by color, I mean I tried some different techniques. I didn't do this whole page, but I tried some cross-hatching, and I tried some stippling, and just other areas, just plain straight coloring. And you absolutely could do that. It did not leak through the paper, and it didn't leave any impressions on the piece behind it. So there are some pieces where I was able to completely color in, or not color in, but I did cross-hatching on that, and I thought that looked fun. And then I completely colored in these little hearts. That could be done as well. So you have options, and using different forms and different mediums. So yeah. Would I recommend this coloring book? Sure. If you like coloring and sitting there and coloring is a stress reliever to you, absolutely. I think this is a fantastic coloring book. It has, you know, lots of intricate pieces. It also has some that are maybe just not quite as intricate. So this one, you know, might be fun and easy. Then they have some that are a little bit smaller and they have the nice border. So that's a little less intimidating than a full sheet. But there's a lot of different options inside this book, which, like I said, was very appealing to me. So yeah, if you enjoy coloring, this might be a book for you. And as I said, I will have the other 2 books linked and listed down below as well, along with all the mediums that I used in here as well. So if you have any questions, please leave that in the comment section down below. Like I said, will have everything that I used linked down below. If you liked this video, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And as always, I will see you very soon in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.